What is up, everybody? What is good? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to our Call of Duty news episode. I've been doing a lot of these over the past couple of weeks, and I greatly appreciate all of you guys who have been following, subscribing, and also commenting on these videos, because the Call of Duty scene is something I'm a bit newer to, but it's also been incredibly crazy, especially when we talk about a topic that even people like me outside the Call of Duty scene know all about, that being the CoDBurner apparently being exposed this Friday for content on video by Censor himself. We'll get into that probably in the back half of the episode as to exactly why he is trying to expose this guy. For all of you guys who are watching, though, who have no idea who the CoDBurner is, well, his details go way back. He's been leaking things in the Call of Duty scene for quite some time now, and the rumors around him have always been around exactly who this guy is, with no one fully knowing exactly who this guy is. I mean, I remember all the way back to the time where Hitch had that live stream troll where he tried to, leave up the Reddit page, and people thought potentially he was the CoDBurner. Of course, he did come forward and obviously tell us all that was not true. Several pro players in the Call of Duty scene have been accused of being it, and ever since then, he has moved from Reddit to one of his own individual Reddits as well to continue leaking stuff going forward in the future. Along with that, the allegations of who this guy is, whether he is rich or not, whether he actually was in the running for potentially buying the Optic players or owning a team for the CWL. These rumors are pretty insane to think that some individual out there, and others think it could be a group of pro players, and that's why this shroud of mystery could be unveiled by one person, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But let's go back into a little background as well. Like I talked about, he has now hopped to his own individual subreddit to continue leaking things out there in the Call of Duty scene, and it's not been until recently where Crim6 and his ex-manager, that being Taylor Keating, took to Twitter to try and expose him as Edgar Allan Poe on Twitter. Which is funny, because this Edgar Allan Poe guy, well, I think I was actually following him many months ago around the time for the Tfue and FaZe Clan lawsuit case. If you guys followed that, we elaborated that on here in this channel, but of course a lot of people did on YouTube as well. He had many things to say about that case, but on top of that, I also followed him throughout the Optic case as well. Of course, the alleviating of Optic and all of their teams, they've now been bought out by Immortals Gaming Club, and Edgar also had a lot of things to say about that, which does lead into other rumors out there. I will link Tactical Rab's video down below. If you guys follow Call of Duty, you should definitely follow Tactical Rab. He does a great analysis pretty much daily of Call of Duty news out there, including this story. So I will link his channel down below for all of you guys, where he tries to even potentially tie if this supposedly Edgar Allan Poe also being CoDBurner, sometimes also known as Dex, according to a few pro players out there who have referred to him and Edgar as Dex. And so that's why kind of the trilogy of names out there is Edgar, of course Dex, and CoDBurner kind of being the same person. And potentially, if it actually was apparently CoDBurner trying to buy out the Optic players and have a CWL spot, that is why he would also maybe be talking about the Optic situation with so much enlightenment. It felt like he knew so much about the Optic situation, but also being a random Twitter account, it didn't all really add up too much. So anyway, back to Taylor's tweet where he calls out Edgar Allan Poe on Twitter for apparently being Burner or Dex, as we're going to refer to him amongst those three names. But even funnier than that was actually Clayster eventually deleting this tweet and defending the Burner and saying, wow, that is obviously not him. And so instinctively, people start pointing fingers towards Clayster, and all of a sudden the COD scene, at least some people out there, think Clayster's involved in being the Burner or a part of the Burner team. So all of this leads up to this these past few days where Censor now finally gets involved. We get to the meat of the story here, and Censor's story about Burner, well, this is a weird one, guys. I'm not fully confident in the way that Censor is going about this. Not only a lot of you guys are kind of tuning to the point that yes, he is waiting for a video to do this. He could do it on Twitter. He could do it on any social media, and of course, he chooses to make a video about this and make us all wait till Friday. So there's that debatable point, but the way he's actually exposing this guy and apparently releasing his full name, I'm a bit nervous about this, because yes, Censor does apparently claim that other pro players are maybe signing NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, where they can't even talk about the Burner or anything around him. Apparently Censor did not sign one of those, but even when you release anyone's full name out there, there can be a lot of backlash, especially if it's not a public figure and you are incorrect about who this guy is. You can face a lot of legal stipulations if you are incorrect in releasing someone's full name, accusing them of something they did not do, and apparently sending a slew of fans or haters their way. Anything that does happen after that could be lined up back towards Censor. Nervous going forward about this, and the way that Censor also wants to expose this guy, or why he wants to, well, he goes off on Twitter for a while about this, stating apparently that being the CoDBurner, he's very fraudulent. He's trying to tamper with players, that being the way he exposes some things that should not be brought forward. I will attest to that one point as well that Censor does make. I don't think everything is great about leaking things, especially when it comes to messing potentially with players' futures. There are some some things that do get leaked that do not come true, and who knows if that leak is the reason why those things do not come true. So when you do potentially affect players' futures and their salaries and their livelihoods in the profession, I agree. If he is any way tampering with them in some way, I disagree with what he is doing. Is he tampering though? Is he fraudulent? We don't know if that's actually true. That's just what Censor is saying here. Then Censor also talks about how apparently Burner tried to actually buy him dinner. He rejected that. He also apparently sat down with him and Krim in Seattle, and they talked to each other. And also, very lastly, it was actually the CoDBurner telling Censor he had worked for Goldman Sachs. Then Censor, who apparently had an uncle also worked for the company, asked if the two knew each other, and that is when the burner allegedly said that his uncle was a douche, and that is when Censor knew that he was lying, because Censor knows his uncle ain't no douche. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation, I just think it is kind of funny to think about that this shrouded figure has been leaking things, not really to my eye. At least Censor might know things that we do not know. The pro players might not like what he is doing as much as a lot of community out there enjoys seeing leaked rosters, because I think it's a weird thing in esports that we enjoy seeing leaked rosters. We enjoy knowing things ahead of time. So I think a lot of people appreciate the burner for that, but he could be doing a lot more tampering or fraudulent things that we clearly do not know about as regular community members that Censor might have knowledge about. So I will give him that point. But it's very funny to think about. There's this shrouded figure for a long time who's been out there leaking rosters, which to the common eye, if I told my mom, hey, this anonymous dude is leaking team rosters, she would be like, okay, cool. But now, because Censor's uncle is not a douche and the CoDBurner apparently called him one, he's going to call him out, release his full name, and potentially face legal backlash for all of this, which I'm all for, guys. It's not going to be me receiving any trouble, at least, God, I hope I don't, but I hope you guys all enjoyed. That's going to be the breakdown of today's video about Burner, and apparently Burner being exposed. If he is exposed, if it is the correct figure, and anything does come out of this, I would gladly post an update video for all of you guys. Once again, if you want to check out Tactical Rap, he does great analysis on all this stuff as well. I will link his channel down below for all of you guys. Until next time, I hope to see you back here sometime soon, breaking down other weird esports news. Until then, see you soon. Take care.